The season of gift giving is here, and with the holidays right around the corner, all of these brands like Aloe and Lululemon and Vuori are hyper focused on what their competitors are doing. And what I'm going to show you today is how we can build an AI agent in about 5 minutes that automates the competitive intelligence process. So if you are part of the research and development team at a retailer or a consumer goods company, or even like a financial services company, you can build an AI agent on Writer that automates this competitive intelligence process and then sends everybody on your team a really beautiful email outlining what you should be thinking about for the week. And here's just an example I'll show you before we jump into how we built this. But here's a email that I created last week that takes in the Aloe guidelines and branding and automatically creates an overview for the team as if I was in charge of doing all of the competitive research. So what is Lulu doing? What is Vuori doing? What is Gymshark and Fabletics? And it's calling out things like emerging trends. And there's a physical retail resurgence. Where is that happening? Well, it looks like we're seeing franchise expansions into Denmark, and all of this email was completely automated by the agent that we built. So that said, let's get into how we can build something like this from the start. So first, let's jump into Writer. I love to use Writer as my brainstorming partner. So I'm going to say exactly that. Can you be my brainstorming partner? I work for the research and competitive intelligence team at Aloe Yoga. It's a really popular athleisure brand. And my goal today is to create an agent that helps me go out across the web, find out what our competitors are doing like Lululemon and Gymshark, and help me aggregate a competitive intelligence report that's sent via email to all of my colleagues once a week. Now, I want you to help me further flesh out this idea and then summarize it back to me. And we'll let Writer Agent help us really think through what we're trying to accomplish first. And this is like such an important step, right? I think so many people are getting right into prompting. I find that I get kind of nervous when doing that, and I want to like flesh out my ideas a bit more. So, okay, questions to consider. Data sources and coverage. Okay, that's a really good point. So what type of competitive intelligence is most valuable? Do we want social media activity? Do we want website changes? Do we want news mentions? And then the cool part about this is it's very interactive. So there's a human in the loop here. It's saying, hey, Matt, I need your input. Help me flesh out this idea. So let's just go through these pieces one by one. So what type of intelligence matters the most? I really want to focus on new product launches, any pricing changes specifically related to the holidays so I can stay competitive. Social media campaigns would be great. And then if there's anything interesting about customer sentiment, I think that could be a great focus too. In terms of the competitors, I think all of the additional competitors you mentioned are perfect. The structure should be just a beautifully formatted email with HTML visuals in the Aloe Yoga branding. And then this will inform our marketing strategy for the most part. And then in terms of the delivery, it's definitely an HTML email. So can you just help me synthesize all of this into one summary of what we're trying to accomplish? So you're really seeing the behind the scenes here. This is how I get to the idea. And then you'll see the next phase is really cool because once we have this kind of like synthesized summary of what we're trying to do, this is when we feed it into playbooks and create the actual instructions for the agent. So let's take a look here. Aloe Yoga, competitive intelligence agent. So here's our summary. Competitors to track. Build an automated AI agent that monitors key athleisure competitors and delivers a weekly competitive intelligence report. Couldn't have said it better myself. Here are the priorities. Here's the deliverable. Here's the impact. I'm going to copy this. And then we go into the next part of the platform, which is called playbooks. This is where we create those repeatable agents, the things that we want to schedule and automate, right? So it's not just a one-off prompt, but this is actually something that we can share across the team and then even incorporate specific files or connectors that we have available to us. It's really cool. Here's the best part. You can see here at the bottom right, we have this button, transform into a playbook. Now, I have pasted in this rough idea, but this isn't the steps that the agent needs to take to accomplish this task. By clicking this button, we'll take it to the next level. So now what you're seeing is the playbook name, Aloe Yoga Competitive Intel, generates a weekly competitive intelligence report for Aloe's marketing team, monitoring key athleisure competitors for new products, pricing, social media, and customer sentiment. Here's the plan of attack. This is really cool. And by the way, all of these steps are editable. So basically the AI has given us a framework for how to do this, but it's not saying you have to do it this way. This is really important. And then we can also add in variables that we want. So by hitting backslash, I can add, hey, I want you to incorporate this file, or I want you to use a knowledge graph. So all of this stuff is easy to implement. And then you can see down here, send HTML like email report weekly to the research and competitive intelligence team and relevant stakeholders using Gmail. So I'm going to, instead of saying that, which is what we'd want in the production environment, I'm going to say, send the HTML email report weekly to matt@writer.com using Gmail. This will let us test it in a safer way before we have it going out to the rest of the team. The rest of these steps look pretty good. Data collection, analysis, compile the report, deliver the report. Now, there's one thing that I actually want to reference here, and I just had this idea. So I was thinking, how can I make sure that it's following the branding and visuals? Well, I can say, it says design the report with Alo Yoga branding and visuals, ensure a clean and scannable layout. I'm going to say, use this example Alo email as a reference. And then what I can do here is I went into my inbox. I got this Alo email when I signed up on Friday. So I'm going to feed this to the agent so it knows how to really follow along with the branding. And I'm going to just drop it in here. So you can see here at the right, I've actually fed this in as a file for context. You have this as a file called Alo email. Perfect. And that's it. So let's give this a shot. I'm going to run this and we will check our inbox in about, 5-10 minutes and see what we come up with. So we kicked off our playbook and you can see on the right-hand side, our agent is hard at work, scraping the web, looking at all those different brands. And what I love to do is I just like to take a look here. This is what the agent is tasked with. So you'll see the deliverables that we're going to get, the next steps, the details here. So these are all the details that we outlined when we were just building it a minute ago. And then you can even see as it takes action across these different steps of the process, you can see where it is in its journey. So you can see right here, there's actually this checklist that the agent is following, and step by step, it's just going to take action. So let's just come back when the email is all said and done, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, it looks like the agent got all of its steps done. Let's take a look here. Hit a quick refresh. Oh, would you look at that? Let's take a look. Oh, this looks sleek. Okay, Alo Yoga Competitive Intelligence weekly report, week of December 15th, 2025. Nice. Here's the competitive landscape, aggressive holiday discounting. Okay, good to know. Critical market shift, Lululemon vulnerability. So Lululemon's customer sentiment crisis combined with CEO departure creates significant market opportunity. It's actually a really good call out. I remember hearing about that in the news. So negative sentiment here, NFL team apparel from a product launch perspective. Wow, I found some discounted items here and the percentage discount from a markdown perspective. This is so good. Gymshark. I love the feel of this too. It really looks like the, initial Alo email, at least from there's these black boxes and it kind of follows a very similar feel. Vuori. Wow. Exceptional sentiment. Yeah, they're killing it. That's really cool. Outdoor voices. I mean, this is awesome. This would take a human so much time to gather and do all this analysis. And now we just have the first pass of a really, really good competitive intel email. I bet you the Alo team would actually give this a read. So there you have it. We went from an idea to a fully functional agent that sends us this competitive intelligence in a matter of minutes. So every single process can certainly have an agent supporting it. And if you're interested in learning how to build one, hit me up. Here to help. Thanks.